Hey, ladies, welcome back to All Things Fem, where we know that our femininity is our superpower and we use it. In today's video, I want to talk to you about dating. Yes, dating again, but this time I want to talk about dating like a bad. I don't know, can I cuss on YouTube? I'm not really sure. And also, I'm a lady, so I don't necessarily want to curse, but I think there's something to learning to date like a bitch. I'll bleep that out if I have to. But, and we'll refer to it as a B witch going forward. But there's something to dating like a B word. And I don't mean being a mean girl. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean dating with confidence, setting boundaries, having high values, high standards, saying no when you want to say no, and just generally speaking, giving that bad energy. There's nothing wrong with that. I would say a bad in for somebody in pop culture would be somebody like, I don't want to say Beyonce, even though she is the baddest, but she let Jay-Z cheat on her and come back. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. So I wouldn't really say her, but maybe for all my older women, somebody like, I'm gonna have to actually think of this. Hold on. Okay, I know who would be considered a bad bee. Rihanna, for example. She doesn't need a ring. And not to say that you should not want a ring if you want a ring, but she doesn't need a ring. She has dated the baddest boys in the industry and she discards them when she's done with them. And I'm not saying that in a rude way because you can see her with her current partner. She loves him. She adores him. You can see that. So it's not about being a mean girl, but it is about being a bad beast. We want to start dating in our power. Our femininity is our superpower, but we want to start dating like the bad bee that we are. And I had not really planned on doing any sort of makeup look, but I'm just happy I got up today. I have been experiencing some uh, sadness lately. It's the anniversary of some situations in life, but that is why I have really been MIA because I'm really big on not producing or not doing anything that I don't feel like I want to do in the moment. And I just hadn't been feeling up to making a video. But then I realized we got to get back to it. And by get back to it, I mean, it's holiday season. We got to start figuring out what we're going to do. I know a lot of people like to say cuffing season, but in reality, at any time when we're single, and sometimes even when we're not single, we can meet a person and start dating, and we get caught up in that. I don't want that. So I wanted to come to you guys and talk about dating and this power that we have, but still embracing your femininity. We're never going to let go of that. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some important principles to make sure you're not just dating for fun, which you better be, but also dating with intention, dating with purpose, understanding your worth, holding yourself to high standards. Think of it like dating in a way that you never get hurt again, or at least minimize the chances of it, right? Because why would we want to get hurt if we don't have to? Now, before we start talking about how to handle a man, we're going to talk about how you need to handle you, okay? Confidence starts from knowing your worth. If you're constantly wondering if he likes you, instead of wondering if you like him, you are already starting off the game wrong. The foundation of dating like a bad bitch is knowing who you are. The key to dating with confidence is knowing that you are already perfect just the way you are. And don't get me wrong, we all have our flaws, duh. But you know that you bring something to the table. And if you don't know that you bring something to the table, maybe you shouldn't be dating and we're having the whole wrong conversation. We are queens. And when we show up, we're bringing our full selves, our intellect, our beauty, our independence, our feistiness, our weirdness, our quirkiness. We're showing up with all of those things. That's what you bring to the table. And by the way, don't let a man ask you what you bring to the table. That is number one. Like, maybe this is our first and last conversation type of question. Because why are you worried about it right now? Why? Do you even know my middle name? Why do you need to know what I have or what I've done? And don't get me wrong, you should have accolades. You should. You should better yourself all day long, but that's for you. That's not for you to explain to any man. When you walk into a relationship already knowing who you are and what you bring, you're opening the door for somebody that matches your energy with mutual respect, not someone that you have to convince to respect you. Quick story, I dated somebody who, when I met them, they had me on this pedestal. And just from things that they had seen, I guess, on social media or whatever. And they thought I was this type of woman. And in reality, I was a broken woman when we met. And I paused because I wanted to talk about what I'm doing with my look, but I'm not doing much of anything because, me, I'm very simple. So this is going to be a very simple look anyway. I've told you guys that sometimes I just use a darker concealer and I go over I'm still doing it anyway. Let me finish the story. Anyway, they had me on this pedestal, but in reality, inside, I was not that person. And I didn't think I was that person. And so when we got together, they were ready to give me this respect that I didn't even feel like I deserved at all. And so, long story short, there became this imbalance between who they thought that I should be and who I actually was. And I battled with that. And it really ended up sucking because I just couldn't live up to who they had put in their mind that I was. But I was never going to live up to that because I did not think I was much of anything at that time. So you see, even if you want the best from somebody else, they're only going to give you what you're reflecting out or what you're putting out. They're only going to reflect that back to you. So first things first, know that you are that bitch and live in that. And like I said, when I say dating like a bitch, that does not mean being mean. But that also doesn't mean being a nice girl either. When you're a nice girl and you're accommodating and you lack boundaries, you can be overlooked and taken for granted. And that's not feminine at all. Because then that puts you in a state of lack. Anyway, if you're always trying to fit in or just be the status quo, you're not being yourself. You're being this nice, demure character that you really don't want to be. So I'm not talking about being rude, but being self-assured, being confident. You know who you are. You enjoy who you are. You don't care if other people are offended by the image that you put out. A bad bitch is assertive, unapologetic, and she knows exactly what she wants in a mate. And there's nothing wrong with knowing what you want in a partner. As a matter of fact, I think that you should know what you want in a partner before you start dating, because if not, you're just going out into the world just taking anything. Dating like a bitch is about stepping outside of the nice girl role and asserting yourself and being clear with your intentions. Nobody can read your mind. Only you know what you want, and you need to put it out there. So now that we have established that confidence is key, which I've said before in other videos, and I'll continue to say, confidence is really the key to everything in life. Well, most things in life. Getting a job, getting the deals that you want, negotiating, different things, just so many things come back to you being confident and you being you. But anyway, now that we've talked about how confidence is the key, let's talk about how to manage the early stages of dating. You want to set boundaries and always make sure you're in control of the situation. That means not just saying no to things you don't like, but also saying yes to protecting your energy. And I'm very big on that in my own life. In my own life, I'm very big on that. I will not double text because now, why do I have to feel silly? Why? You didn't answer me. You clearly had something better to do, or wanted to play a mind game, or didn't want to talk anymore. Whatever the situation is, you didn't text me back. I'm not going to text you again. Hello? Don't let men have easy access to you, and don't rush into anything that you're not sure about. Like, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to take your time before you commit to somebody. It's okay to date and have fun. It's not about playing games, but it's about respecting yourself and protecting yourself and not letting anybody walk all over you. If a man doesn't text you back right away or takes hours to text you back, he doesn't respect your time. If he's interested in you, he'll make an effort to let you know that he's busy or that he'll get back with you at a later time. He's not going to leave you hanging. Don't waste your time chasing somebody who's not chasing you. The nice girl gives too much. She often lets things slip for the sake of peace or for the sake of having someone. She's afraid to set limits, so she ends up becoming a doormat. When you're dating like a bitch, you know that setting boundaries helps you to protect your energy, your mentality, and save your time. When you date like a bitch, you're not going to apologize for taking up space or asserting yourself or putting boundaries into place. This is when we stop waiting around and we know whenever it's time to cut our losses and move on. And it's probably not even a loss. When you date like a bitch, you know when it's time to walk away. Somebody's wasting your time, cut. Somebody can't text you back, cut. Somebody can't be bothered, cut. Like, why would there's millions, probably more than that, people in the world. If this one person is not giving you what you need, why waste your energy? Just move on. Walk away the moment a person doesn't respect your boundaries. That's the only way to date like a bitch. Once you set those boundaries, the next step is taking control of your dating life. Be assertive. Like I said before, your intentions are your intentions. Nobody's going to read your mind. Set those out. Let those intentions be known. Make sure you speak up, whether it's asserting your boundaries, telling somebody not to speak to you that way, or just simply not agreeing with everything for the sake of agreeing. I would have a problem where I couldn't always think quick on my feet. And so I would just agree to things when people would say stuff. And one day I realized somebody called me out on it. They were like, "You're just agreeing with everything I say." And it made me feel so stupid. Don't agree with everything people say. Like, if you got to figure out how to be quicker on your toes, do that. If you need to figure out what you actually feel about certain things, become more cultured, get out into the world, find out more things, figure out more things, find out what you feel about certain things. But don't agree for the sake of agreement or for the sake of having something in common. You don't have to. It is okay to stand out. If something is not working for you, it's okay to say that. Dating with confidence is using your voice, because who is he? Number two, don't settle. A lot of women will settle for whatever for the sake of having a person. And if you're doing that, then again, you should not be having the conversation about dating right now. You should be having the conversation about figuring yourself out, because we're not dating just to have a person in our bed anymore. No. Why? Because there are so many toys out there that you can use that a man is irrelevant, really. And when it comes to talking, your girlfriends probably have better, but I probably have better conversation for you. So you don't need that either. It is okay to be alone. And don't get me wrong, of course, this is a whole dating video. So I'm not damning dating. Dating be damned. Men be damned. No, but I am saying that everybody doesn't need a man. Sometimes you need a you. If something is not working out for you, if the person that you thought they were is not who they are, or if something comes up, or it's just plain on not working out for you, I don't like you anymore, Billy. Billy gotta go. You have to speak up for yourself. And if he responds in a terrible way, then now you know Billy's character for real. Now you know you can't trust Billy, because he doesn't know how to handle rejection or criticism. And there you go. You know if you need to move on from Billy Bob. Let him go, because you're looking for somebody who values you enough to make adjustments. And if he's not willing to do so, why are you here? Speaking up also means knowing what you deserve and speaking on that, because you're not going to treat me any type of way. Relationships are a two-way street. If you're the one that's always making the plans, always calling, always texting, always paying, which, first of all, a woman should never pay for at least the first. No, no, no. A woman should never pay for a date, in my opinion, until y'all are together. And it should not be every date. It should be every whenever. Now, for the ladies that date other women, I know that it can be a little tricky. Or for men who date other men, I know that that can be a little tricky. You guys have your own set of rules. But as far as women, why would you ever pay for anything? You can show your interest in other ways. Paying for a date is not one of them. The best relationships are two-way streets. Demand that your partner shows up for you the way that you show up for them. And if they can't get with that, then they should not be your partner. If you're doing all the work and he's not even meeting you halfway, let him go. You could do bad all by yourself. That's not just a movie title. That's like real life. You can really do bad all alone. You don't need a man to complicate that or to do it for you. If you're doing all the work, he's just not that into you, sister. And I don't know why I have to even say that. If a man doesn't do for you, plain and simple, he's not into you. It's no other way. Men are built to do for you. And I don't mean monetarily, just period. There are ways that men show you that they're interested. If you're doing all the work, he doesn't like you. You need to like yourself. Next. And men will play games with you, women too. They will say all the right things and won't show you a thing. I have a friend that was dating somebody who would always say, yes, I like you. I want to get to know you. I want to be with you. But every time she had a chance, like free, she was off from work and she could actually link up with my friend, she never did. And we almost got into an argument. Well, we did get into an argument a few times, because I would say, we are all grown here. If a person really wants to see you, they're going to see you. There's no excuse in the world. We are full blown adults. We can make ways to do everything. So if a person is not seeing you, calling you, whatever you think about, use yourself as an example. Have you ever liked a man for real, and not text him back? or not called him for a few days. I mean, yes, if you were playing games, but men are not really like that. So that's the thing you have to really remember. Men are not really like that. So think about it that way. If you really liked a person, I don't think that you would go a whole day at work and say, oh, I was so busy, I couldn't. Yes, granted, there are days that you just can't answer your phone. And if you're just dating a person, you don't have to contact them, but be for real. Like if you really like a person, you're going to contact them. It's real life. Again, if you're chasing him, he's just not that into you, sister. Nice girls, and I am a reformed nice girl, don't get it twisted, but nice girls tend to over accommodate. They let other people take advantage of their time and their energy. And for what? Because if we're being real, the guy, he doesn't really like you anyway. So why are you being nice? Why are you letting him take advantage of you? Don't be nice. You see that he's not that into you. Peace out. You can get a whole nother Billy Bob. There's like 30,000 of them, or Tyrone, whoever. When you date like a bitch, you understand that mutual effort is everything. And one-sided energy is nothing that you want to be a part of. Let it go. Dating like a bitch is about maintaining your standards and never letting anybody push your boundaries or address issues early. Speak up. If something's bothering you, let that man know, or woman, or whatever know. Don't just let it ride, because the things you let ride now are only going to get worse. I promise. That is not just something people say. Whatever you let ride is going to continue to ride. When you call something out, notice how he reacts. Does he react in a healthy way? Is he open to criticism? Does he respect your point of view? Does he even care? You handle conflict directly and you just put it out there. Grown-ups talk, grown-ups figure things out, and grown-ups say how they feel. We're all grown here, right? Right? Unless you're dating a Gemini or a Taurus, maybe. No. Okay, no shade to either one of those signs. Just, y'all know how y'all are. Now, with that said, time and time again, dating like a bee is ultimately about putting yourself first so that other people know to do just that. Put you first. Who else are we putting first? Dating can be emotionally exhausting, and that's why taking time for yourself is very important. I have talked about it numerous times that I've spoken about it numerous times that self-care is very important. You always want to take time to invest in yourself. If you don't, nobody else will. Prioritize yourself. When you're focused on your own growth, you're going to attract people that are focused on their own growth. So you're going to attract like-minded people. Focus on developing yourself, and you're going to pull in high-value men or women that are also doing the same. We've talked about it before. It's the law of attraction. The energy you put out is the energy that's going to come back to you. So as long as you're working on yourself, the universe is going to send you a partner that is also worked on themselves. When you're a nice girl, you're so focused on people pleasing that you're not pleasing yourself. Dating like a bitch is, I'm all in on me. I'm doing what I want to do and what I need to do to take care of me. You prioritize your happiness first, and you don't let anybody mistreat you, period. Now, of course, dating is a journey. Things are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. And I mean, you can't do everything right the first time unless you're me. Hello? But there will be mistakes, misunderstandings, and missteps. Things happen. Always take a look at what you could have done better in a situation. If you're the problem, be real with yourself. We're all human. We all do things that we may not have or may not should have done. Why can't I speak? Anyway, things happen. Forgive yourself. Learn from it. Move on. No matter what kind of Okay, still can't speak. No matter what kind of mistakes you make, don't let that diminish your self-worth. Learn from it. If you're embarrassed, figure that whole thing out and then just move forward. Don't let anything make you feel less than or unworthy. You're still you. You just made a mistake. Make adjustments, move forward. That is the key to dating with confidence. You just move on. Oops, made a mistake. Next. Who gonna check you, boo? Wait, is that copyrighted? I really hope not. But no, because she said, who? I'm not going to repeat it. When you're a nice girl, you take rejection personally and then it just spins out of control. It can really make you depressed. But when you date like a bitch, you get over it. Oh, well, next is the key. And that doesn't mean next person, but like walk away. And you don't let the fact that you are rejected change your self esteem or how you feel about yourself. At the end of the day, if it starts to really affect you, pick them apart. And I know that's so silly, but it helps. Did you really like them? Were they really worth it? Remember that one time when y'all went out to eat and you couldn't even order an appetizer? That's who you're crying over. So, just to recap, dating like a bitch is not about being mean, unlikable, rude, not having manners. It's none of those things. It's more so about putting yourself first. It's not about being cold, but it is about being unapologetic and being assertive and saying what you mean and meaning what you say and speaking your feelings, putting yourself on the pedestal. Stop settling for less just to have somebody in your bed, in your home, in your life, somebody just to talk on the phone with, whatever the case is. Stop settling just to have a person because you need to remember that you're the prize. If you don't remember that, how is the person dating you going to remember that? Why would they put you up here? Back to the story of when I was dating that person who put me up here, but I was feeling down here. Eventually, we came to the mutual understanding, and it wasn't me going up. Start dating like a bitch. Stop being a doormat. Start putting yourself first and start walking away immediately. Put yourself first and start loving yourself. And I know I say that a lot, but it really is the only way to date like a bitch. Think, think about it. When you're arguing with somebody, when that person is really a bitch, do they stand there and go back and forth with you? Maybe for a minute, but in the end, they walk away and they're not thinking twice about you. I watch Real Housewives, Salt Lake City. If you're not into it, get into it because those YT women are a good kiki. But there is a cast member, Lisa Bartlow. She's so delusional, I swear. But she says whatever she needs to say, and then she goes on about her business. She doesn't even realize that they're talking smack back to her or making fun of her or that she is the joke because she says what she has to say and goes on about her Delulu way. That is how bitches are. They could care less about how it's going to make you feel. If they are feeling away, they walk away. Same thing. When you are dating like a bitch, you don't settle for anything. You stand in your boundaries and you walk away from anything that makes you feel less than. Nobody can make you feel a way that you don't want to feel. I want you guys to remember that. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you start dating like a bitch because why be a nice girl when you can have your way? Let me know in the comments how you plan on turning off that nice girl energy and start to date like the bad. I appreciate you for joining me. If you're ready to start dating like a bitch, if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and join me next time. I really appreciate you for watching.